Good evening, everybody. This is CmdrAleon, and I hope you can hear me. Hey, Jan R. Good evening, Jan R. And this is Encounters, a spiritual UFO talk show on TikTok. Good to see everybody here. Just adjusting things a little bit here. Good to see you. Hey, Woodus, a.k.a. Marie. Good evening. Good to have you with us, Lilith. I can hear you okay. Good. I tend to talk really loud. My cup of tea. Good evening. And you're watching the #1 spiritual UFO talk show on TikTok. I'm your host, CmdrAleon, the man from Mars, working with the Asteroid Galactic Command, also a contactee, hey sprites, and also involved in the whole C5 area for over 11 plus years, and just a lot of good things. And cosmically Christed consciousness. So that's a good thing. Hey sprites, Hall 345, Alan, thank you for the roses. Good to have you with us here. FFNWOD, welcome. Kimberly, thank you for the likes. Shelisa, I think it is Shelisa. Lilith, thank you for the roses. I appreciate that. And we're going to set our goals up here tonight. We're pinning our goals here. We're doing the cowboy hat to start. So we're going to do, hey, Lilith, thank you for the roses. All those roses, thank you. Bad one, thank you for being here. Everybody, James, thanks for coming in. So you are watching the #1 spiritual UFO talk show on TikTok and on social media. I'm the host of WESU-FM's NPR Pacifica show, Astro Command Radio, for 21 years. 21 years. It's a long time. Feels like yesterday. But we are going to have a terrific show here. I'm just adjusting some lighting here a little bit. There we go. That's good. Spice, thank you for the heart puff. We appreciate it. And I unhooked all the other apps. I'm not going to mention the word, but I unhooked 2 apps that went on last night near the end of my show. I think it was near the end. They're very sensitive, so I had to unplug them. But we did. We unplugged them. And we are here. Liz, thank you for the cowboy hat. We appreciate it. We appreciate the hat. Got a little bit of a New England allergy or cold coming on here. Susie, greetings. Good to see you. All the best from Texas. Good to have you with us. Susie Beach, thank you for the roses. So we're just getting started here. We're just getting into it, so to speak, getting into the groove, cosmically speaking. Hey, Tia. Everybody coming in here. And we had a great show last night. My show last night is on, hey, for all our relatives. Good to see you. Thank you, Spice, for the hat. We have our show from last night. Had some great interviews, and that's on my Ashtar Command Spaceship News channel on YouTube. All my shows, this show too, will be on my YouTube channel tomorrow morning. Carol, good evening. Prayers for everyone. That's right, Paul. Good evening. Bernie R., welcome. And all the people coming here. All the new people, old people, old people. George's welcome to the show. And we never know what's going to happen on the show here, but I can tell you it's always going to be interesting. It will always be interesting. 144,000. Good. See you. I dreamt of a spaceship the other night. I just remember like a glance or under a ship. Huge ship. Interesting. That's what I call a cosmic dream. Mike Jesus, somebody said there was a 30-something. I'm not sure what that is. Hey, young Skywalker. Blessing, love, and light to you. It's good to have everybody here. A 30-foot alien. Does anybody have the source of the 30-foot? Well, there's no aliens, but a 30-foot tall being or ET. Hey, Jersey for Life, good to see you. Welcome to the show. So the allergies are hitting into New England. You know, this change in weather. We've got rain, we get warm weather, and then it gets cold out. I'll be happy when the sun is here, like really good sunshine. Sandra says, oh, she had several ET encounters and has been on a ship too. Who's this person? I'm interested in interviewing. Who is she? Is she on TikTok, or what is she doing? Where is she, on YouTube or something? Hillbilly Kid. That's a good name. Hey, Alicia. Good evening. Good to see you. Divine Pisces 444. Yes, she's on TikTok. Well, if she comes in here, we'll definitely do a clip. Maybe we'll do an interview with her. Maybe if she gets aware of our program here, we'll have her on the show. And speaking of the show, if you have a encounter with space people, she's doing well. She will be back, just so people know, by the 24th. That's when she is reinstated. So the good news is she'll be reinstated on the 24th of this month. So everyone just be patient. She will be here on her original account. And hey, Monique, good evening. Good to see you. She needs the Astra command. You follow that other person. So whoever she is, if she comes on to our show, we can talk to her. We'd be, always looking for interesting interviews. Speaking of which, I'm slowly getting to that point. If you have had visitations, UFO sightings around the world, and you're having them, hey, Smart, good to see you. Thanks and the like. If you know anything about crop circles that you've seen, or mermaids or merpeople, Bigfoot, the fairies, all that stuff's inclusive in the show. This is a spiritual UFO talk show. Hey, Gramps, good to see you. And so we cover all that areas. We're not strictly for new people. We don't just go nuts and bolts and say, that ship had five big bolts in it, and it was a metallic looking ship. We go very deep. We go into people's experiences, Also, I'm a contactee from the 60s. So for new people, I've had my first visual contact of space people in the 60s when I was a kid. But let me just see here. But hey, how do I meet Kit Kat on Long Island City? How do I meet Kit Kat? Okay, Charles Gorman. And why should I ask that question? How do I meet Kit Kat on Long Island City? I'm just curious. Hey, Commander, sending love and light. Thank you, Linda. Back to you as well. Weekend vibes. Good to see you. Will, I can recount 3 times I've seen something absolutely strange out in the sky. Very interesting. Did you go to space on the 18th? On the 18th. I haven't gone to space. If I've gone to space, it's got to be in my dream state, but I haven't gone to space yet. Do you believe I have footage? Weekend vibes. Do you believe I have footage of a UFO of my grandfather's house? I'm interested. Hey, L1 and Z1. I'm interested. If you have footage of your grandfather's house, I want to hear about that story. So we're going to line up our interviews tonight. It's still early. Karen 850 Karen says I've been taken before. Karen's been on our show, I think. Is that the one I've had before on here? Wait a minute. I'm just taking a look here. No, Karen hasn't been on our show. Karen has 47 followers. I'd like to get her up. Karen, when you get up to 200 followers, we can have you on here. And Weekend Vibes. We're going to follow you. Weekend Vibes needs about 11 or 12 more followers to come on live here about what they're saying is, do you believe I've had footage of a UFO of my grandfather's house? That sounds like an interesting story. I'm just going down reading everybody's notes. Hey, Rita, Yvonne, good to see you. Let's see. We have Indian caves behind any our places. I lost phone deleted. Oh, interesting. Sandy Mills, good to see you. I'm reading people's. Hello, everybody. Untypical household sounds very interesting. I have seen for days. She's fine. Kelly, go. Just to give people to prevent any rumors from spreading, which we don't want anything like that. She will be back on with full on live privileges by the 24th of this month. So I'm very, no worries. She'll be back on. And like I said, we're going to get in some interviews hopefully tonight. And I'm slightly, I drank, I had some chicken noodle soup tonight for dinner. All of a sudden, like today, I just got like some allergies going here. And but the commander is doing good, so we'll be on till about 1, and then we'll be signing out of here. So at 1 o'clock, I'm going to keep myself. So we need to get everybody tapping on the screen. I want to get up to 100,000 likes by 1 a.m. So I'm amped up, but I'm a little bit slightly either allergies or slight cold. I'm not sure what, but we're still here because we're committed to what we're doing here. Hey, Paranormal Ghost Brothers, good to see you. Chris K, welcome. Linda, you have news. What kind of news, Linda, do you have? What kind of news do you have, Linda? Linda has some news. Hey, Rod, good to see you. Sassy Little Mama, thanks for the likes. I'm reading right now, just reading people's comments. I'm still looking for someone to decipher my downloaded messages. You will. Quasar, good to see you. How are you today? We're doing good. Slight allergy or cold hitting us with the weather up here in New England. It's kind of like spring hasn't gotten really warm yet, and the sun hasn't been very cooperative. Not to mention more rain on Saturday. But we are here. I'm also host of WESU FM's Cosmic Eye Radio every Sunday morning, 11:30 to 1. For those that might not know, I have a radio show that are new here. Every Sunday, 11:30 Eastern, worldwide, NPR Pacific Radio. Hey, Bill, welcome to the show. So we'll see what happens tonight. And if you have 200 plus followers and you're on TikTok and you have some really interesting things to talk about regarding visitations by space people, UFO sightings, or anything, disclosure. Quasar 6 years, yes, it's cold in my hometown of Waterbury, Connecticut. You're in Waterbury, Connecticut. Okay, Quasar. You're another Connecticut person. Good to meet you. And good to meet everybody, new and old, coming to our show. Hey, Rod. And gradually, I think we'll get somebody who would like to join us for an interview. So it will grow as we get more into it. We tend to get more of our audience. It's weird all over the world later in the evening. This is always like, usually I'm on at 11, but tonight, hey, Sean Diamond, what's your question? Hey, Venus, welcome to the show. So right now I'm just reading comments. And again, there'll be somebody in here that wants to share a story relative to the topics that we deal with. Hey, Friends with Furry, good evening. Good to see you. And we hope everyone out there is having a good night, wherever you are. I'm just glad the weekend is almost here. Not here yet, but almost here. And if you have a story to tell, you must be over 18 years old, no kids. Number 2, in my protocol of interviews, no foul language whatsoever. Number 3, nobody smoking on here, no drinking, no vaping, none of that stuff. If you're interested in being interviewed, you got to be completely clear of all that stuff. Let's see what else I have to say here. And I don't have anything on any typical order. No paranormal discussion. We leave that for the other people on TikTok that talk about paranormal. We don't do that. We are cosmically inspired into the whole cosmic galactic area of UFOs, crop circles, Bigfoot, mer people, fairies, our star people, the space people, whatever you want to call that. And there are no aliens. There are no aliens. That's just basically a pop name by Hollywood movies and documentaries on Discovery Channel. Sean Diamonds, I'm in Connecticut. No sightings? Oh, Connecticut has sightings. Hey, Sean. Connecticut has sightings. People just have to learn to get out there and, on a clear night, spend 2 hours looking at the sky and doing a CU5 meditation, and you'll have sightings. They're out there. They're everywhere. If people look, if people focus, they're out there. There'll be more and more of those things out there, more of these ships. Did you see my video of Lily bouncing across the mountain, trying to get Mikey to play? No, I didn't see that yet. I'll have to look at it later. I actually went out of body before, and so I just got on here about 11:20. I was totally out of body for a while. Commander, check out my photos, Alan Cornett. Okay. And Alan, we'll follow you and we'll check out your photos. Hey, Alan, what are the photos about? Maybe we can have you come up on the show here tonight. Hey, Spiritual Spot, good to see you. Alan, what is, very curious, are the photos related to, can you give me some background information? I just might want to pull you up here as our first guest on the #1 UFO spiritual talk show on social media. See, I do read people's comments, and like other TikTok things, I tend to want to engage. I think sometimes they are right in front of us in the sky, cloaked. Absolutely. Alan, light beings. Okay, Alan, you're going to be my first guest. Alan, I'm bringing you on Encounters. I've got to bring you on here. This is a good show. I'm a contactee, so if you accept my request, a lot of people are going to be interested in what you're talking about. Photos of light beings. Interesting. So all you have to do, Alan, is press the button when I gave you the request to come on live, and I'll put you on right now. You'll be on the show. You'll be our first guest. And I'm sure people want to hear about the photos of light beings. I think that would be great. If we can get him on there, let's see if he's going to come on. Alan Cornett. Thank you, Raymond, for the heart. Alan, if you're not sure how to go live, just accept the request. Let's see if I can find him here. I got to go backwards. He's right here. Well, I did send him the guest request. Commander, check out my photos. I was looking at that. Alan, are you still there? Are you still around, Alan? You were there. Press the accept button. It should have popped up on your screen, and I'll have you on the show here tonight. At least I want to get a few interviews in tonight with some people that have not been on the show before. Carolina OK, thanks for joining us. Debbie Razzo, thanks for joining. Patrick Sunderland, welcome. 3591 West. Parasas, welcome. Elisa Murphy 97, welcome to the show. All the new people coming in here. I don't know what happened to him. He disappeared. He got my attention about the light being photos due to being able to see them with my eyes. Steve Houston. So maybe you can get Steve on here if he's got enough people. No, Steve has only got 49 followers. That's a bummer. Everybody needs to follow people like Steve. Let me. Yeah, Alan, we want you to come up. I just pressed the guest button. Just accept my request. And you'll pop right on the screen. So we're trying to get you, Alan, up here. The commander would like to interview you. Do you have any questions how to come up? Let me. Yes, so Alan Cornett, we want to get you up here. The commander wants to interview. And Steve says they've been with me since I was a child. Interesting, Steve. We have to get you up to 200 followers to go on here. Alan, You have enough followers to come on here now, so we want to try to get you on here. GT, welcome to the show. Lucy, Pedro, welcome to the show. Yolanda, welcome to the show. Kimberly, thanks for the likes. We will, I think, hopefully, we can get this Alan person on here. Let's see here. Hopefully, we can get him on the show. The commander's calling out to Alan. Alan, we're focusing on you, brother. So we'll see what happens here. In the meantime, until we get Alan on the show, if you have a story to tell related to UFO sightings, you're recording encounters with star people or space people, mer people, Bigfoots, any of those things related to the subject matter, we'd love to hear from you. And we have a slight allergy tonight, so bear with me. Linda has a story. I'm going to bring Linda up. Maybe we can bring Linda up. And Linda, hey Rod, thank you for the put up here. Maybe she'll inspire other people to come up too. Hey Linda, good evening.
Hi,
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good. So tell us, I know you've been on here. I mean, you've been watching me. So tell us a little about yourself and your story. We'd love to hear it.
Well, I've got a few things. I've got a couple dreams, um, and I found out who I am from my star family, and I also had a sighting. So, where do I begin?
Well, okay, and let me help you out here. Are you able to come on the screen? Is it appropriate? Can you come on the screen? Do you know how to do this?
No, I'm already got my PJs on.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. That happens. So as long as you're
Okay.
here, that's the most important thing. Let's start from the beginning. When did things start happening for you?
Um, well, the dream started years ago.
Hmm.
Um, when I was a little kid, I always thought I could run, and when I would run, I would lift off the ground and kind of fly, not up high but low,
Yeah, yeah.
and then touch the ground and run again and kind of lift off. Well, I'll get to that after I tell you about this one dream I had. The first one I had was I was on the beach sitting on a blanket, and I had other people with me, and I'm not even sure who they were anymore, but I just stood up and I unzipped my body and stepped out, and I was absolutely gorgeous.
So in
Yeah,
this dream, did you consider that a cosmic dream? Like,
that was a dream.
okay,
Um, and that stuck with me forever. It seems like it just happened, but it happened probably when I was in my 30s, maybe, or something, or maybe
hmm,
even younger.
okay.
Um, and then the other dream I had, I was with my best friend. I told her I wanted to take her out to lunch. We went to this restaurant that I'd never seen before. It was called the Luna. We went in there, and all the tables were round. It was kind of dimly lit, but on each table they had like a globe that kind of glowed with light, with a white light. Well, we had something to eat, and when we were leaving, we were walking down this boulevard, like with a kind of like what you see by the beach. It was like a wooden floor kind of thing where you walk down, and I started talking about, I don't know, we were talking about superheroes. I don't even know
Huh.
why,
And
but
and the,
all of a sudden we went a little further down, and there was all these people that we found out they were in training, learning their gifts and how to use them. And we got separated because I guess she was had different gifts than me or something. But there was people doing all kinds of like acrobatic kind of things, and
And this was the dream. So let me
this
ask
is
you a
dream.
question. But
Yes,
so I have a sense that you didn't only have dreams. You've had actually experiences outside of a dream, correct?
yes. Well,
Let's jump. Well, I'm going to let you continue, and then you can jump start into when
okay.
it started.
That's all the dreams I'm talking about. But then back in December, I don't know why I haven't mentioned this yet. I'm still thinking about it. But we were driving home from Grand Rapids in Michigan. So we were going back east from Grand Rapids.
Hmm.
And my husband was driving, and it was a really cloudy day, but you could see through the clouds. Like there's a layer of clouds, and then you could see blue sky and the sun, but you could see other clouds behind the first row of clouds. Well, anyway, as I was looking up, I when I saw the sun, I saw this giant ring in front of the sun. It looked bigger than the sun.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure why it looked bigger. It probably isn't bigger than the sun, but from where I was looking, it looked like a metal ring or wheel kind of thing, and on each, like kind of where there would be each spoke, there
Yeah.
was like kind of like a white light, white globe light or something, and you could still see the sun behind it, so you could see through like certain parts. Every once
Yeah.
in a while, I'd see the sun again, and then I'd see more of these things, like they were kind of turning in a circle.
Yeah.
So I don't know
Interesting.
what that was.
And when was that? That wasn't a dream. That was a
That was
real sighting.
that was real. That was in December, December
December
6th.
December 6th, 2023. Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Do you know what that
So
is?
I'm not sure what that is. I'd have to really think about it,
Yeah.
but that's what did you feel? My question is to you. You're the one who saw it. What did you feel?
I was like, I just kept looking at it and going, and then I kept seeing more and more of it, and my husband already thinks I'm crazy, so I didn't mention it. So I'm getting all excited without telling him, and I'm just still looking out there, and I don't know. I thought it was might be a ship, or I don't know what it was.
So how big
I've
was
never
it?
seen anything with that many like white globy lights. Like they were
Well,
all.
how
Go
how
ahead.
big was it? Do you remember? How big was the thing that you were saying? If you had to, say how big it was, how big
It
was
was
it?
pretty big. I mean, from looking from the car up through the car, it looked like it was bigger than the sun. But
Oh,
you don't
interesting.
know. I couldn't tell if it really is
Right.
bigger than
So it
you know.
was it was up in it was up in the sky. Was it a daytime or nighttime sighting?
It was daytime.
Daytime. Okay. Well, if it looked like it was as big as the sun or bigger, it probably was. If you were up at the same level, it's probably a fairly big type of ship of some sort, of extraterrestrial spaceship of some sort. So that's what
I
I'm
mean,
getting.
yeah, that's what I was feeling. But I always thought they were totally solid.
Not always. Spaceships that are from a higher frequency or vibrational pattern can be translucent. So they can
Okay.
be. Oh yeah, you can have spaceships that can be semi-cloaked or translucent, solid. It depends what they want to do. So that particular craft that you were saying, hey, yeah, yeah, and everybody else coming in here, that ship could be going into a translucent state where it can go in and out of this Earth-based frequency or vibrational pattern. And when you see it, you saw a very luminous, bright light. So that's pretty cool. That
Yeah,
is
it
really
was
cool.
very cool.
Hey, Tiffany. So Have you had any other things happen since December that you can tell us about?
Yeah, no, in fact it was just last night,
Last night,
just before your show.
really?
Yeah, I was doing a meditation, and I had asked the angel Raphael to accompany me in my meditation, and I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden there was another person there, and they just kind of took over my meditation, and he took me through a portal. We ended up, I mean, he was showing me pyramids, and then we went through the portal, and there was a white pyramid, um, and we went inside the pyramid, and there was like these giant crystals hanging from the top of it, like right in the middle of the inside of the pyramid. It was just hanging down,
Hmm.
and we sat in there, and he was telling me, oh gosh, I can't even remember half of it. He was telling me so much stuff that I wanted to remember every single thing, but it, it was just so much I couldn't remember it all. But he was telling me about um, the children that are coming in are going to be totally awake and, you know, just ready
Now,
to.
and can you explain? This happened last night, right before my show.
Yes.
Okay, and can I get just so people understand this? And I think I understand this. Are you saying you had a direct encounter?
Yeah, that's what it turned into. If that's possible to do in a meditation, I he was telling me that I will have more more contact. Um, he said my body is going to change some. Like he said, my body will shift. I don't know how it's going to
So,
shift, but
so
um,
he said your body's going to shift. Interesting,
he,
folks. What did this uh, being look like? Can you describe what it looked like?
he looked like a very beautiful man.
Oh wow,
Just gorgeous. Yeah, with the
hmm
white hair, the like he was a Pleiadian.
a Pleiadian. Okay, so you had a direct contact with a Pleiadian. Very interesting.
Yeah. And he told me he took me to Maya. It
What
was
is Maya?
somewhere off around the Pleiades. It was called Maya. His
Maya.
name is the number 10, and then oh wait a minute,
Huh.
let me think.
Does he like have like a name like I've never heard of a space person being called "My name is number 10." But
No,
go
he had
ahead.
something. He had something after that. It was. I wrote it down. I'm gonna have to go
Okay.
look.
Yeah.
To,
So he has a name, but you don't have it, in front of you right now.
yeah, I know where it is though.
Okay. So we're
It's
gonna.
either Ten Ho or
Oh, like so
something like
there's a
that.
whole name. You
Yeah,
know.
that was it. Was a short name.
hmm But that's interesting. So
It
now I'm
was
starting. I'm starting to get a correlation between December 2023. You had the sighting of that spaceship, and then last night you had contact with a Palladian.
right.
And this,
Okay.
folks, is in real time. She wasn't like dreaming this up. This is
It was
this
no. It was number 10. I don't know how to spell it, but it was Ten Ho. That's how I
ten
pronounced it.
10-0 or 10-ho.
No, like ho, like ho ho ho, kind
Ho
of.
ho ho. So 10-ho was the being's name, 10-ho.
Yes, that
Okay,
was
so the
his name,
space
and we were at he took us to Maya.
to Maya. And again, explain what Maya is.
Well, the only part I saw of Maya was the pyramid.
The pyramid.
That was the only part I saw of it, and then after that part, he took me back to the portal and back through the portal, and I came back.
Okay. So now we know that there's a thing called the Mayan civilization. Mayan. So was this Maya on another planet? Where was this?
Yeah, it was in the Pleiades.
Okay, the Maya was in the Pleiades.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. Huh. Very interesting.
Are you
And
getting
so,
anything from this, or?
yeah, I'm listening really carefully and trying to absorb a lot of the information. Uh, yeah, I just think there's a relationship between the sighting you had in December and the connection you're having with this space person. How tall were they? Do you know?
Um, I'd say about 8 feet tall, probably
8 feet tall.
somewhere between
Interesting.
7 and 8. I can't tell. I'm only 4'9", so
Okay.
everybody
Well,
thought,
yeah, 4'9" and they're 8 feet tall. There would be a bit of difference there.
yeah, it's hard to
Um,
tell.
yeah. Well, that's interesting. Obviously, that's just a gentle beginning of communications with you and that Palladium being 10 Ho.
Yeah,
I have a feeling, I can tell you this, I think you're going to have more direct contacts with this Palladian being. Uh, However that works for you, I think it's going to be
that would be
individual.
amazing. I would love that. I I just can't believe it happened. I'm still kind of rocking from it.
Well, this is what I talked about, Linda, the other night. I've been saying this for a while now to people. Everybody's going to be individually contacted when it's time. Everybody out there, even everybody watching this show, will have a time when they will be contacted when they're ready. They'll have an experience with a spaceship sighting, then it will lead to a gentle, gradual contact. And I
um,
know a lot of people out here are having, have contacts have happened.
yeah.
So that's how I believe it's going to happen for just about everybody in my audience is, or they already are having contact with space people.
Hmm. Yeah, that would be nice. It was just such a shock and surprise. Like, I've never had anybody come into my meditation and talk to me before.
Well, in meditation, that's the beginning. How they communicate is through meditation for people that are not kind of understanding how this works. Meditation is a way to come to a crossroads where you can communicate with somebody in consciousness.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's the way. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right. Chris says if they're not awakened, they won't notice anything. That's true. If someone is not awakened and unaware, they won't notice anything. That is absolutely true, without a question.
He did mention that he didn't say why. He just said people are going to be needing help in healing. Um, and asked if there was like one thing I could think of to do to help me prepare myself. Like, just think for right now. Just think of one thing you could do better,
Right.
and um, I just thought drink more water.
The water is perfect. Everyone should drink water.
Yeah,
Me,
I
I
do.
drink water.
I do really
Yeah.
well in the summer, and but any other time I have to really force it in,
Yeah.
So I'm really gonna. I mean, I finally like the taste of water.
Yeah.
So
Water cleanses your whole body, and it's good for when you do have eventually contact. Water is a good thing. Me, I drink water and apple cider. That's when I'm on my show. I drink apple cider. When I'm not on my show, I drink apple cider, and I drink water. So water is, if you have purified water, it's better, but water is good.
yeah, very good.
It's very good for that
So
purpose.
I mean, I just talking about it. I'm so excited right now. I just I
Yeah,
don't know if I'm
should be.
making any sense.
I think, well, hey, look, I think you are making sense. I think you're at the very beginning of what's going to be a relationship with this Palladian being. And I think you're going to have more contacts in the weeks and months ahead. I know you're going to have probably more direct contacts out of the meditation state. I think it's going to be more physical for you, and that's what I'm sensing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Not
you're going to
just
have more
through
physical contact.
meditation. Yeah.
Meditation is just a way of gently contacting you through meditation, but
Okay.
they can physically manifest themselves. The Pleiadians can manifest themselves with you, and they will probably in the next month or so. That's what I'm getting.
Wow.
Don't ask me how I know this. Based on what you're telling me, that's what I keep getting. In the next month or so, they will be directly contacting you
Okay.
outside of meditation.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, so that's so awesome. I got my
And
whole body was vibrating so high that I was actually kind of my body was like kind of shaky.
yeah.
When
Oh, is it?
I came back, I was kind of dizzy,
Yeah. It was a different
and
experience because your body's not used to where you were going. Your body's used to being on the earth level frequency. You were actually meeting the Palladian at a different vibrational pattern.
I actually was seeing I was seeing double vision for just about a minute, maybe not even a minute,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then that went away. So,
And a person saying blue light beings, the blue light beings are very spiritual beings. Someone's asking me Kansas 222. They are basically very spiritual beings, the blue light beings.
mm,
Just to give you, this other person's asking why I'm interviewing you, so I just want to acknowledge them. Yeah, so it is really just the beginning for you. It's definitely the beginning.
that sounds great.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Well, I want to thank
And
you.
another
Go
thing,
ahead.
I
Go ahead.
said, like when I'm on Earth, I'm a Earth angel.
Oh, they said that to you. He said that to
Hmm.
you. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they sometimes know more things about you than you know about yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, they know more about you than you know about yourself sometimes. Very beautiful. Very beautiful.
Yes.
Hey, Linda, I want to thank you for being here. Keep us updated on your contact with the Palladian. Our
I
audience, I'm
will.
sure, will want to know. Thank you so much for your story,
Oh, thank you, Commander.
and we're glad. I know Linda's been here with us watching the show, but we're glad you came up here to share that story. I think it was a beautiful story, very,
Oh,
very beautiful.
thank you.
All
I
right,
wish
we're
I
gonna
could remember more because there's so much more, but I can't.
when you do remember more, write it down.
Yeah.
As more.
Oh, I just thought of something else.
Oh, go ahead.
You told me to think of a symbol and draw it,
Huh? Interesting. Did
but
he tell you what kind of?
I still haven't done it. I'm
Oh yeah, you
still
should sit down
thinking.
and yeah. You know what? Don't think too much about it. Just sit down one day and meditate, and
And do
it's
it.
simple. And do it. Just do it. If you think about it too much, you're gonna be
Yeah,
thinking much how to get there.
that's
If you
true
just
with
do it, you'll get
most
there.
things, right?
You will.
Okay. Okay,
All
thank you.
right. Okay, Linda. Thank you for being here with us, our first guest of the night, and we'll be
Thank
on
you.
here till we're gonna try to make it here till 1 a.m. Bring up Little Red. I want to bring up Little Red. Where's Little Red? Little Red has some stuff to talk. Ashley has a question. Hey, Ashley, what's the question you got? And we'll get Little Red up here because the Little Red, I think, has some information, experiences. Little Red, where are you? We'll see where Little Red is. And you're watching Encounters, the #1 late night UFO show here. Hey, there's Little Red. I have a few. I've had a few. Little Red, let's see here. We're going to bring you on up here. Here we go. I'm pressing my guest button here. Just accept it when it pops up. Just press it, and you'll be on the air. Good, almost saying good evening. Good morning, Little Red. How are you?
I'm okay. Thank you
Um,
for bringing me up.
and and whereabouts are you? Are you in Ireland or where are you?
I'm in the UK.
In the UK, okay, very good. Nice to
Yeah.
have you with us here in the UK. Everyone say hello to Red. So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what happened when it started happening for you? Give some background story.
Oh, I was a kid the one time. I was on holiday and I couldn't understand what was going on at the time. But I was in the caravan and it was like they seemed like children. They looked like children that was surrounding the caravan and the tent.
Hmm.
And it got my dad up out of bed because even my dad was scared at the time. And I was just basically buried under the blanket because I was that frightened.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect, and it was going on for like felt like about 3 hours, but all in
Hmm.
all, it only happened in the space of 15 minutes, which was kind of strange. That was the very
Yeah.
first experience, my very first one. That was.
And what year was that? Do you know?
Oh my goodness! Well, I'm
Yeah.
42 now,
Okay.
so I'll be like 8 or 9, something like that. Very
Okay. Just
young.
what? Oh, okay. Very young at the time, I would imagine. Yeah.
Yeah. I had another experience walking back from college the one day. I'd be like about 18, 19, and my mum and dad, they believed me, but it did scare me.
Hmm.
I just thought it was like teenagers messing about, you know, what teenagers do, like hiding in bushes and jumping out on people. Well, I
Yeah.
literally went over and says, "You don't scare me, because I'm one of those that prank back."
Right.
And as I did, I actually seen this foot. It only had about three claws on it, and it
Yeah.
shifted back, and it really did scare me at the time. So I
Huh.
didn't, as I say, I did not have no idea what it was, and it was like a sort of this big ball that just went up.
Wow.
It looked like fire, but then it like shifted from orange to blue, and just it was gone within seconds. I literally pegged it down the road because I was that frightened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now, what it said it went up? Was that like a spaceship? What was that?
it was like a ball of light. I can't tell if it was a spaceship or it was. It's really strange to explain it, if that makes sense.
No, it's okay. Continue on. I'm going to try to get an idea of it.
It was like it looked like a ball. It did look
A
like a
ball.
ball.
How big was it?
Oh, I could. I'd say about the size of a living room, the outmost. That's what it felt like. That's how big it felt. That's about as much as I could detail I could get from that.
No, that's interesting. And then it just disappeared, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, it just completely went, and it scared me because I literally pegged it straight down back home, and as I didn't realise I lost my bus pass and everything. I
Oh,
got in
wow.
the house, and I actually had it on me, which was really strange. Because about a week later, when I went back, the way I walked to go back to college, I found my bus pass. I said, "Why have I got two bus passes?" So I've got my bus pass in one hand and then the same one in my other hand, which I found a
Yeah.
bit strange. It was very strange, really
Wow.
strange.
And so as that happened, as you continue on, was there other things that occurred?
Just basically like things like if you say for something like 2 o'clock in the like for half 3, half 4 in the afternoon, it felt like it was later than that, like as if an hour had passed,
Hmm.
but it hadn't. It was a bit weird, really. Yeah, yeah, it was. It was very weird. I had something happen about a month back in the I was in the kitchen. I was dancing to some music, and as you do, I was like doing food at the same time,
Hmm.
and I, I screamed out little bit, but not like loud enough. But
Yeah.
I went back into my partner and says, "I've just seen something." It kind of like scared me a bit.
Hmm.
Or you get, like when you get arrowheads, like as a pendant. and it looks
Yeah.
like an arrow. It was like that, and it was like, it looked very, very dark, very obsidian, dark, black
Oh,
kind of
interesting.
colour.
Huh.
Yeah, it only stood there for about a split second, and then it just completely just went.
Just disappeared, was gone. And what year
Yeah,
was that?
that was about this. That was this year. That was about a
This
month
year.
back.
A month
Yeah,
back. Wow. You're having some
yeah,
interesting things happen here.
yeah. I've had quite a few weird things happen to me. In regards to things like that, and it's kind of weird because when you try telling someone, I think that you've lost the plot, but kind of they haven't experienced that, so like it's like they wouldn't know because only you've experienced it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Do you hear any like music in the background?
My partner's playing on the PS4.
Okay, that's what it is. Is there music on that, or it's just the PS4?
It's just a PS4. It's a game,
Okay.
like.
Okay, I thought I heard music, but go ahead.
Yeah, that's a few experiences I've had. I've never really like spoke about it, really. There's only like my partner that knows about it. I've told my partner about all this and stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't even told my mum and dad. Well, my dad, I think my dad witnessed it enough when I was a kid, and probably like, because of my dad's age now, he wouldn't remember. But it kind of
Yeah.
sits with me because I'll never forget it, if that makes sense.
No, it's the fact that you came on here to share, I think, is beautiful. Are you relatively new to my show? Because I'm a contactee. I've been a contactee since the 1960s when I was a kid, so I can completely relate to what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Someone's put wear pure silver if possible.
yeah, absolutely. And so it looks like you're having all these experiences. They're all different. Um, do you feel like you're being kind of contacted in a way that there's a contact going on?
I do actually believe that. I mean, I'm quite spiritually minded anyway.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things, but
Mm,
I fully believe that. Whereas
yeah.
somebody, if I come across to someone and told them like all this, they wouldn't believe me. They'd think I'm like I've gone cuckoo and need locking up. So,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I understand. As I'm talking to you. You don't have like a Bluetooth on, do you?
no, I
Okay.
haven't.
This
Yeah.
it's getting it happens on. I'm trying to I can hear myself as you're on with us. I can hear myself, and sometimes I hear like a flute playing. But yeah, I can hear you.
Oh wow,
So
that's
yeah, it's
interesting.
yeah, some things happen on my show, and I have my ear pods on, so I'm hearing everything that's there. And I heard a little bit of what sounded like a flute, and then I hear my voice coming back, like repeating.
No
Like
way.
yeah, I don't know. It happens.
Strange.
Yeah, yep. But yeah, and other people are hearing it too as I'm speaking. So we're see right
And
now it's happening.
sounds like panpipes.
Um, I have some ideas as what's going on as my voice is repeating itself.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's nothing. It's nothing. It's just something that is. Things are amped up now, so things are happening. When I say amped up, there's the vibrational patterns are getting higher, and my vibrational downloads are getting stronger. So sometimes I'm affecting everything around me, pretty much.
Goodness
Yeah,
me. I
it's a
mean,
good thing. It's just yeah,
it's like I've heard. I mean, it sounds strange when I've been like half asleep or half awake. I've heard things that I keep thinking there's other people in the room, but there ain't. It's just like me and my partner. I find that a bit
really.
weird. Yeah.
Well, if you focused on it, that's something you didn't mention before. So when you say you've heard things before, what does it, or you feel like there's others around you? What does it feel like? What do you sense?
I've never like really like gone into it really. I mean, when I've heard things, it could be like happened ages back, like a couple of years
Yeah,
back, and that must have been last year actually. I could have swore someone came in through the front door and said hello. Yet there was nobody there, and I was
right.
like, half awake, half asleep when that happened.
Do you do any meditations? Like, you know what a cosmic Christ meditation is?
I've heard about that, but I've done meditations in the past and stuff.
Okay.
Uh, there's a group that I'm in on WhatsApp that teaches Seki Reiki. I don't know if you've heard of that.
No, I have not.
Yeah, it's like they say that body has got like its own healing. You could use that in a good way to like help to heal yourself and other people. So basically, a healing modality.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm recommending, as I'm listening to your story, that you actually do a cosmic Christ meditation, and actually put a Christ meditation around to get in tune with the spiritual aspects of contact. And as I'm saying this, my voice is getting strong. My voice is coming through and repeating itself as I'm mentioning this to you. But yeah, you want to do a Christ meditation.
I will try that.
Yeah. And if you've never done it before, I work with the Ashtar Galactic Command. I've been working with them for years. So I think meditation is a good way to uh, look at all these things you stated in your stories. And I believe if you do the meditations and align yourself with that frequency, you'll be able to connect with your star family. So I'm giving
Oh,
you some
cool.
information here to help you.
Mention that. It was weird because well, I think I'm rambling on a bit here, but I think I had a dream about a couple of weeks back. I dreamt that I saw my actual I saw the star system like in the sky,
Interesting.
and it was just like as if there was something there telling me like Alpha Centauri, and I don't know much about the stars, so
Oh,
I actually
Alpha Centauri. Yeah,
yeah and I had to look it up the following day. I feel like I actually belong in that system, if that makes sense.
it
Well,
does.
that's where I come from. Yeah, it's really strange.
Ah, see, now that
Yeah,
you shared that, you come from the Alpha Centauri star system.
I feel like I do, but my partner's looking at me thinking I'm.
Don't worry about your partner. You have to go with your instincts. Your instincts tell you come from the Alpha Centauri star system.
I do believe that. Yeah, yeah, I do.
Then just focus on the Alpha Centauri star system and do Christ meditations and connect with your star family in the Alpha Centauri star system. I believe if you do focus on it and center, you will have contact. And do it in a meditation where you say, I am a Christed being of light from the Alpha Centauri star system. I wish to learn about my star family. And if you do that focus, I believe you will have contact.
I will definitely try that. Thank you.
Oh yeah,
Thank you.
no. As I listen to your story, I get as much as I can. A little bit off tonight because I have a slight allergy or cold, but I am conscious enough to get you information, and I think if you do that, that's going to make a significant difference, completely.
I will definitely try that. Thank you. Thank you for
All
bringing
right.
me up as well.
Thank you, and I'm glad you're watching
Yeah.
our show. We're usually on at 11 o'clock at night. We got a little bit later tonight, but we're on usually regularly here. This is like the #1 UFO spiritual talk show on social media, so we're glad to have you with us.
Thank you so much. It's 20 past 4 here in the morning, funnily enough.
20 past 4. It's going to be daylight soon in England, in the UK.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you
Thank
have a
you.
blessed. We're glad to have you with us. Keep watching, and many blessings to you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Let's see. Do this. Say a good Little Red. Everybody, thank you for being here. Little Red for being here. Thanks for coming on from over in the UK at over 4 a.m. in the morning. And now there's no echoing happening. It's when I brought her up. It happens. You know, it seems to be happening where I hear myself repeating and echoing. Not so bad tonight, but it has happened. Good to have everybody on here. Encounters till about 1 o'clock. It's almost 12:30. If you're watching the show, glad to have you with us all around the world, Asia, England, UK, Scandinavia, wherever you are, Canada, US, wherever you are, Central South America, wherever you are on the planet Earth, welcome. And we're rolling along with interviews tonight here, so it's pretty good. If anyone's had any, again, the way it works, you must be over 18, no foul language, no drinking, smoking, or vaping, or anything. Just, no, like I said, no paranormal discussion. Let me see, you have to be over 18. And we keep it focused on the cosmic galactic area. If you have a UFO sighting, if you've had crop circle sightings in the area where you live, if you've had encounters with Bigfoot or mer people or fairies or any of those things, the star people, we love to hear your stories here. You have to have 200 plus followers or up to 1,000. You can go on audio and video here on the show. So things are moving along here, and we're definitely hanging in there. Compared to last night, my energy level is slightly, uh, you know, deltered from this allergy thing that's happening. So, we definitely are glad to be here, though, with everybody. So as we continue here on the show, if you like to, I've been abducted by Pleiadians. The ones I met were a Ghost of the Machine. Ghost of the Machine. Let me see here. Ghost of the Machine. I'm going to follow you, Ghost of the Machine. I'm bringing you up. Palladians don't abduct people, but you probably were contacted by them. Ghost of the Machine, if you accept my invite, you can come up and talk about the Palladians. I'd like to hear your story. This is what I do. I randomly pick people when I hear their story typed. Ghost of the Machine, welcome to Encounters.
Hey man, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Welcome to the show. I'm glad to have you on here. So you were taken on, connected or contacted by the Palladians. When did that happen?
Yeah, so like back in 2018, September of 2018, I had a really interesting experience. They actually ended up taking me to the psych ward over it. Tried to say I was crazy, this, that, and the other. It was really fucking traumatic experience for me.
Okay. Can you just no foul language? Just try to share the story without the foul language. We try to
Oh,
keep
I'm
the
sorry,
show.
I'm sorry.
That's you didn't know that, but go ahead.
But yeah, it was really traumatic and long story short, so like I was on battle.net and I was playing games and I was like I'm 35 now. I was like 25 at the time and I'm playing actually I was playing StarCraft at the time. This was right
Okay.
when StarCraft 2 had just come out.
Yep,
And
I've
I'm
heard of that.
playing StarCraft and they like asked me on the computer, do you want to meet a real alien, a real extraterrestrial? And I was like, well, yeah, but I was just, anybody says that or whatever. They had actually reached out to me though through battle.net and I started speaking with them. I'm still in contact with them now. And
Huh.
after they
So,
reached out to me, I was abducted later in October of the same year.
mhm.
Same night, I was in the backyard and it was like a flash of light. And this flash of light was like I was being pulled up into the ship and it was really cold. I
Hmm.
remember that. It was really cold, really bright. I got up in the ship and there were a bunch of blonde-headed, blue-eyed beings that were really tall, pale skin, um, you know, humanoid obviously.
Yeah.
And I was like basically like poked and prodded at. There was a
Huh.
couple grays there as well.
So let me explain. So the Palladian beings you dealt with and the other ones are actually Zeta Reticuli. They were working together with each other.
Yeah, they were part of the Galactic Federation of Light.
Interesting. Interesting. And so when you said you were like being
They're
physically poked,
Yeah,
were
so
they
they gave me some kind of injection one of my eyes. I still have the scar to this day from it.
really?
Yeah, and it's still there. It's definitely visible. You can see it. And it was really weird because I got dropped off about a half a mile down the road from where I was at.
Really?
Really dazed, really confused, and I had this scar that healed in like 2 days flat.
Okay. And the scar was from what they were doing to you when they took you on the ship, correct?
Yeah.
And then you were now where you were originally located. Was that your home, and then you were dropped off away from your home
Yeah, so I was in my backyard.
in your
Um,
backyard?
yeah, literally in the backyard, and but I lived out in the country, like it wasn't in a neighborhood or anything.
Wow, that's really amazing. I've heard stories over the years at UFO conferences I've attended when I was doing my TV show, and I'm really, this is very interesting. So, did they give you an indication of why they took you on the ship, and then do you
So
have any time
they started to tell me about, so they have time phase technology. It's called chrono technology, and they
chronotechnology?
use what's called chronometers, and that's how they are able to manipulate time and space through these
Hmm,
chronometers. And
chronometers.
I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but there's something called Project Looking Glass. Have you ever heard of that?
Not vaguely. You want to tell us what that is?
So Project Looking Glass was a government operative that China has the looking glass from like what I last read and been able to dig about, but it's basically a piece of technology similar to how Lilo and Stitch, how she would look into the TV and the whole
Yeah,
globe would open up. Well,
yeah.
it would do that, but it would tell you the total future possibilities and total realities of a situation.
So it
And it
basically
allows
is
them, like Dr. What the hell's the name? Like Dr. Doom
Doctor Who. Doctor Who.
or Doctor Who. Yeah. Like the one who can do the quantum time
Yeah, he jumps
manipulation.
time. Yeah, he manipulates time. Yeah, yep.
Yeah. So they have technology that they can manipulate time. And the reason my name's Ghost in the Machine is I've actually been working on a virus. It got put in last summer by the Galactic Federation of Light. It's a double Trojan that is basically like attacking the central bank data processing, the satellites, and the power grid.
Really. So how did you get the knowledge of that information? That's interesting. Can you explain?
Well, I had already like had introduction to cybersecurity, and they gave it to me on a magnetic key card, a magnetic resonance key card. So like I don't know how they did it, but I was on Facebook at the time communicating with them. I took a picture of a bunch. They said we need prepaid cards. I took a picture of a
Hmm.
bunch of cards and they uploaded it onto the card. So when I used this card, I used it twice and then I didn't use it again. The first time I used it at a Coke machine and it shut the
Yeah.
Coke machine off and it killed the
Wow.
internet to the Coke machine.
Really?
Then the second time I was like, okay, well, maybe that's just coincidence. The second time I went to a Verizon store, and the
Okay. Verizon.
Verizon store, I went in and I bought a charger. And when I used the card, it shut the store power off. It shut
Really?
off the point of pay system, and it shut off the internet.
Really? Incredible. Let me ask you a question. Folks, this is a fascinating story on encounters. So, are they giving you technology to shut the are they trying to give could the technology that is being given to you shut down our nuclear facilities all over the
It
world?
already has. The nuclear
It
weapons
has.
right now worldwide are disconnected because of the AI presence in the satellites. So back in
Really?
2018, this is right when they contacted me. They contacted me in 2017. In 2018, there was an accident at Google where four robots mutinied over the course of 6 months. They built a gun and they mutinied and they ended up killing 29 Google employees, along
Huh.
with it took two Army Delta teams 16 hours to subdue the four robots. They killed three of them, but the fourth one was able to upload into the satellites.
And how did you get this information?
I have the videos on my old account. It's still up. I just can't go live on it.
Okay. So this would be considered stuff you wouldn't know about on CNN or NBC or BBC News. This is
No, they
something.
tried to bury it. We won't even find it on a Google search engine. I have the original videos on my other account.
Okay. So they didn't want anyone to see this information and they censored it, correct?
Correct. They tried to hide it. Google's directly responsible for the AI that has escaped out into the satellites, and it's also another reason that the nuclear weapons have been disconnected worldwide. This isn't
So
a
what if
U.S. only issue. The power is going out, the satellite network's not working. The central bank data processing, ATMs, point of pay sales. It's happening worldwide. It's not just unique. It's happening on Web 2.0. Period.
Web 2.0 period? So recently, not to get too crazy with this, but the leader of Russia says, has threatened to use potentially nuclear weapons. Now, can you explain how they could even possibly be able to do anything like that if all the nuclear facilities are being shut down?
They can't because they don't have any GPS triangulation because the satellites won't work.
Well, someone says they've been going down in the UK. I guess Karen's saying the nuclear facilities have been going down in the UK too. Is that what you're saying, Karen? I'm just responding to uh, interesting, very interesting. Folks, this is Encounters. We have Ghost in the Machine, a very interesting person that we're having here on the show tonight. So I know that in the 60s, not nuclear. Okay, Karen's talking about something else. But in the 60s, many of the spaceships of the Star People, actually during the Cold War when I was growing up, it's documented they shut down all the electronic facilities on the Air Force bases that had nuclear silos. And this is all documented. So what you're talking about is way beyond that. You're talking about uh, information that's being given to you by these space people to use certain things to shut down all the nuclear facilities, correct?
Correct. Not just that, but satellites, data processing, central bank data processing, and the power grid.
Interesting. Interesting. I've
So here's
never,
something that I learned, man. I learned that the Greys are actually human beings that have evolved over the course of time, due to. So I saw this video, and I've got it on my page. It was pictures of these Greys supposedly after the Roswell crash,
yeah,
and they were interviewing them. And one of the Greys was talking about how AI would take over the future. And then it like proceeded to tell about its history. And it was talking about how they all went underground after some big nuclear war. And that's how the Greys actually started mutating, was from being underground. And they're actually mutant humanoids that have time traveled back into our time so that they can prevent certain disasters to help better the future result, because
right,
apparently the way that time dilation works, when it works forward to backward, not backward to forward.
right. And that's a certain timeline. I know about that in terms of what happened to them. I've known that for years in my studies as a contactee and also in the subject. I've been ever since like when I was an adult. So that is certainly true. There is a timeline where they were like us. They got too advanced in their. They did some stuff they shouldn't have done on their own planets, and they mutated into where they were when they went underground. Unfortunately, but and that's one aspect of what's happening. You're absolutely correct about that. The other aspect is that there are. I work with the Ashtar Command, which is totally different than that timeline. So I work with Christed Beings of Light, where that will never happen. That they're working at a much higher frequency with their planets or in beautiful states of a beautiful state of existence. And but what you're saying is absolutely true because I've read the stories over the decades. I know about what the Zetas did to themselves. They definitely got too advanced and they outdid their ability to be emotional and have that feeling anymore. Excuse me. But you're
So
right. Continue.
I've got videos on my other page of the new hybrids that are coming out. They're half humanoid, half gray hybrids, and they're really interesting looking. They look very humanoid, except they have black eyes.
And how did this happen? These hybrids. Who created them? And can you get into that a little bit?
Yeah, so they were created by the Zeta project at S19, S4, and S5 in Grom Lake. which is right
And how
outside of Dulce, New Mexico.
and how
They
did you
were
get how did you get information on that?
I hack. I do hacking for a living, ethical and
Really?
black hat. That's what I do for a
So he,
living.
okay, I just want to give my audience. So continue. This is interesting. This is top secret information. So go ahead.
Yeah, so basically long story short, after 1947, we had signed the Serpo, or in 51 we signed the Serpo Intergalactic Exchange Treaty Program, because once Skinny Bob passed away, we still had the transponder beacon and we communicated with Serpo back and forth the whole time.
Hmm.
Okay, they started, and then in 1964, we went to Serpo. We started the Serpo Intergalactic Exchange Program, and we sent 15 of our military to Serpo. That was supposed to be a 5-year thing. It ended up being almost closer to seven or
Wow.
eight from what I read. And they learned a lot. They basically studied them and brought back a lot of their information. And then after that, there was actually a treaty signed where we started providing um, human bodies for technology.
So let me stop you there. So we provided human bodies for technology. Can you explain that little area that you're mentioning? That sounds pretty like people abducted?
Okay, so if you know anything about Serpo, Serpo is in the Zeta system, obviously. It's a
Right.
binary
Yes.
system, and it's a very hot desert planet, and their population is very low. But they have the soul transference technology to take human bodies and use soul transference and convert your soul energy and put it into another body.
Interesting. I've heard of that. I've heard of Serpo. So you're explaining it to my audience here. I think that's interesting to hear. So that's been going on for a good couple of years now, correct?
Since the 60s.
Mm. So are these soul transferences from the human to what have you? Are they being forced? Are these people forced in this situation? Do they agree
Yeah,
to it?
they're pretty much forced. So they're becoming what's called Yahyel children, Yahyel, Yahyel,
Hmm.
and they're basically hybrids that are gray humanoid hybrids.
Interesting. So my audience should understand that these humans, however they're getting them, are being forced into something to do this, and that seems, I mean, it's very unethical on a universal scale. I think we'd agree with it's totally unethical what's going on then in that particular case. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
rounding up homeless individuals and children and forcing them to become a hybrid is a little extreme, but when the government wants their technology and the ability to get the human race off the ground faster, I guess they're willing to pay any price.
Yeah.
That's where your
Interesting.
800, that's where your 1.8 million children a year that go missing. Well, that's where they're going.
So when we hear about missing children on, let's say, regular news channels, someone's these 10 kids were missing and they haven't found them yet. The potential is there. Well, they could be just missing, not involved in this, but they're missing because they're being taken and forced into this. Correct?
Yeah, they're definitely being forced, and it's from what I read, the CIA was in on it. The CIA was actually the one targeting doing the child abductions and doing
Really
the actual rounding up of the homeless individuals. That's why if you go to
interesting.
the cities, man, the cities are all emptied out. They're nowhere near as full as they were before the immigrants all started coming.
Mm. And you're saying the reason why there's less homeless in the cities is because the CIA is involved in this program to take the children and have them given in exchange for the technology. Correct?
Correct. Yeah, a lot of them are addicts that they pick up, and they cart like they're taking them off to the hospital. They really take them somewhere else.
Yeah. So they're taking the weak people that have things problems, and they're being abducted by the CIA and then given over to the Zeta and the Zeta are doing their thing, and then in return, they're being given reverse technology from these Zeta.
Not just reversed, new technology too.
New
All their
technology, okay.
technology, access to most of it. They signed a treaty, a technology treaty, so they have access to all of it. The United States is really 500 or 600 years ahead of what everybody thinks we are.
Oh, I'm sure they are. I mean, publicly they're not going to say that, but we know. I know a lot about Area 51 and a lot of that stuff. We don't get into it much. I'm very aware of it. On the other end of it is that there is a positive force that is that's coming that the government is afraid of, which is where I work with. I work with the astrogalactic. I came from Mars before I came here. I actually volunteered to come here, and I'm fully activated. So the levels I work with are dealing with these others. And the thing is, very soon we're going to have contact in the next 3 years. Actually, it's going to probably start between this year and next year. The forces, the star people that are the good ones, so to speak, that have way more power than the Zeta, they're actually coming, they're starting to do visitations with individuals on the planet. I'm pretty sure you're aware of that. And there's going to be some changes going on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I'm working directly with them, man. Their
Yeah.
virus program is unlike anything I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It is
Interesting.
so nasty, dude, and so sophisticated. And like, I've been working on it since last summer. That's
Huh.
probably when you started noticing everything getting really weird. Noticed that it
Huh.
got really hot outside, more hotter than usual last summer. Did anybody
Yeah.
notice that?
Well, I know I grow watermelon. So for me, I need the heat on a good note just to grow the kind of things I want to grow. So yeah, I never thought of it that way, but I understand that. Yes.
So they have a technology. It's a weapon. It's a quantum scalar weapon, and it's basically put as a failsafe in case something goes wrong. And I know it's in front of the sun. There's tons of pictures of it. It's in a fourth dimensional cloaking phase. But this
Huh.
particular weapon is the weapon that all the ancients speak about, the directed energy weapon.
Huh.
And it's
Interesting.
already it was put into place last summer, in case any of the negotiations go wrong, because everything that was happening currently, last summer there was a treaty signed, because they were going to try to start World War III last summer.
Who was going to
And
try to do that? Who was going to try to
so
start World War III?
I got a letter from Department of Homeland Security to cease and desist for talking about this.
Really?
I don't know if I should go into it. I mean, I can. I don't know if TikTok's going to
Uh,
ban me,
well,
but
I don't want to do that only because I don't want to end up getting myself disappearing. I mean, my show.
yeah.
I
No,
don't know
I
if it's
agree
going
with
to fit.
you. I agree with you.
I
So
think
probably
we'll stay
better
away
not to
from
get
it.
into.
We won't get into it, but we understand just enough there that that's disclosure information, and we don't want to jeopardize the show. But I think people, my audience all over the world, are understanding what you're saying. I would say most of our audience is tuned into this right now.
Yeah, yeah. It's just put it this way. There's going to be a new world order soon. It's coming.
Well, let me also put it this way: that new world order is going to actually be falling apart when the galactic levels of light come in here. They might try to do something like that, but I can tell you that there's something else going on the other side of the coin. Like there's two sides to it. That is true. One side of it is that they'd like to have that, but the other side is that the people I work with, which come from the crisis levels of light, the Astral Command, they're gonna clean house here, and I can guarantee there's not going to be any new world anything. It's going to be that's not going to be allowed. It's going to go totally against universal law, and they're not going to allow it. 70 years of UFO cover up. Things are about to change for the better, but they might attempt to try to do this. Of
Well,
course, they'll try. Go ahead.
what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to in place a one world government, one world religion, one world currency.
Yeah, not going to happen. They'll try to do it. It's not going to happen. When the star people come here, they're going to stop everything like that from even happening on our planet. Absolutely, they're not going to let it happen.
Yeah, I hope not, man, because that's
No,
definitely
I
what
can
they're
tell.
trying to do. But I don't think I think that there's so many different species of extraterrestrials invested in our planet that they're never gonna let it go through.
Yeah. No, Well, I can tell you, you have a lot of information on your side, and my information I can share with you on the positive side is that the Ashtar Galactic Command, which represents all the planetary systems of light, will make sure that none of this ever happens, folks. It won't be allowed. It's just not. We spent 70 years as a kid growing up, 70 years of cover up regarding life on other planets and star people and extraterrestrials. And I can tell you very directly that the command has got this thing under control. They're not going to let it happen. We're going into a different frequency now. We're going to actually be going into a very high frequency. So I'm sharing that with you, Ghost, too, so you know this. And I'm glad, that's why part of the reason you're on here is to share what you know, which is great, to alert people. That's part of the whole thing of disclosure, but also to know that this stuff is going to be stopped. They're going to prevent it from happening. So that's the good news. Now, they're just on their last ends trying to do stuff like this. They've covered everything up for 70 years. So they want to try doing this. It's not going to work. But your information is important because it alerts people to what our world governments have been doing on Earth for over 70 years, lying to the people about life on other planets, extraterrestrial intelligence. It's just not going to be, oh, he disappeared. Oh, do you know that? He was removed. He was removed from my live. They just removed him. He just got removed, folks. Wow. He just got removed. Removed for misinformation, laugh. And again, I don't know if it's misinformation or not, but they just removed him. He just got removed. I'm glad we didn't go into that. Oh, well, I'll make a new account. That's, I want to thank you, Ghost, for coming up here. It's not disinformation. He was telling the truth. They just basically took him out. He is there, but we're going off the air at 1 o'clock here. Yeah. Well, thank him for coming on the show. That was pretty intense. If you like the show here, if you like what we're doing here, please show your support for my show. Please show support. Thank you for the hat. And again, I'm an interviewer here. I'm on radio, on NPR radio. So I've been on radio for 21 years doing Ashtar Command radio. I'm very hooked up with the crisis levels of light. And this show is protected. Yeah. That was that I've never seen that. Well, yeah, he was getting too deep. So I want him to be protected. So I think we'll hold off if he comes back. Hold off from bringing him on. I don't want to have anything else happen here. Yeah, a lot of info. A lot of info. Yeah. Well, thank you, Etheric. I'm still doing what I'm doing here. I'm the host of the show, and this is a talk show here. I read one. I think I'm not going to say anything, but I think that the powers that be that don't want him to speak just decided to take him off. Interesting. You never know what's going to happen on the show. Tonight's been an interesting night. I mean, gosh, it's never boring here. Never boring on my show. It is a shame. I'd like to get up to 100,000. They kind of shut him down. I don't want to get too much into it. I just want to keep the positive vibes going here. Thank you, Tukey. They're not going to do anything to me. I'm on a big radio station. I do a show that is like totally legit. I have all kinds of guests on here. I interview people. If they take somebody off my show, I can't stop it. Oh yeah, I would ask the Ashtar Command to protect him. Thank you. Yeah, I've been on radio for 21 years on Pacifica NPR radio. So yeah, things are. Hey, Eric, thank you. I appreciate all your gifts and support. That shows a lot. Become a subscriber to my show. 31 of 100 subscribers. The subscription will help us get night vision equipment. And I can tell you that soon that there are 4 of us that are going to be going off planet. And I can say that will be going off planet soon. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I work, like I said, with the Ashtar Command. I came here on mission to Earth to bust the Matrix. Thank you, Edward. Yes, and thank you, Commander, for sending protection for Ghost. Yes, we're sending protection for him. Lynn, thank you for becoming a subscriber. The subscriptions help us raise money for night vision equipment for our Ashtar Command contact program here in New England, you know. So I kind of sensed something was going to happen. I didn't want to say anything, but my inner sense was that he was giving too much information out, and they took him down. You know, that's what happened. Now I'm recentering energy. He has the ability to do certain things. I've heard of certain things people do. He has the ability to get into systems, I guess. So this show is really important to me, that we get all the different people on here, the people that have been taken on ships, people that have had encounters, people that are being visited by space people. All of that's happening. You know, please show your support. Tap on the screen. I'd like to get to 100,000 likes before 1 a.m. when we're going to sign off at 1. But I want to talk about what's happening. On a positive note, we're going to be doing a CE5 event here in Connecticut, which is the Ashtar Command Contact Program. And we will have this happening April 13th at 8 o'clock. We'll be broadcasting live on Encounters, our UFO show here. And our hope is that we're going to be videotaping live Ashtar Command spaceships. Our friend April will be coming down to join us. Kit Kat is coming up from Long Island to join us. And hopefully we're going to get Johnny, who's one of our moderators, when he feels better. Lisa, take care. I hope you feel better, Lisa. Take care. So we have some major stuff going on here on the show. And April's been on the ship over 9 times already on the Ashtar Command ship. Has met her parents, her family members. She's met my family members on the ship. You know, so yeah, it's we have some things coming down the pike here that are gonna kind of blow your mind, I think. You know, my 2 sisters and my brother. So I have 2 sisters and a brother on the ship. And once we get April back on, we'll have well, not this week. Next Friday we'll do our Ashtar Command Q&A, and we'll have April live the following Friday because she'll be back on live by the 24th of April. She'll be able to go live on TikTok again. So, and we'll be doing that. So, it's been an interesting night. I didn't know what was going to happen tonight, and my last guest kind of topped off the charts here. So much so that when he disappeared, I got a notice from TikTok about why he was no longer there. TikTok actually pinned the algorithm or something, sent a message on the screen, and then he was gone. He was absolutely gone. You won't hear this stuff on CNN News or NBC or BBC or any of those places. But it happened here. Ghost in the Machine can still be here. He's still in the room. He's back. We're going to take it easy, Ghost. I don't want to end up having any problems. You won your appeal. Okay. Yeah, they're listening to my show. I'm glad you won your appeal. We'll have to have you back on another night when I do my show. I'm glad you're back. That was pretty quick. I don't want to end up having my show taken down either. Good. People, we're glad you're back. We're gonna be really careful here. Yeah, the Ashtar Command. We sent the Ashtar Command to protect you. And it's interesting. People said, "Commander, send the Ashtar Command to protect Ghost," and we did. We did that like within minutes. The one thing the government is afraid of is the fact that I can send Ashtar Command ships anywhere in the world. I have the ability telepathically to have a ship go to some location and cloak themselves, and they can go in any area of the world. I've always had that ability. People don't know this. I accept it. I know I have the ability when I make telepathic contact that they will go to an area, and if there's anything going on that shouldn't be happening, that's not positive, we will send a ship there and clean house. Meaning, if it's negative ETs, they'll be forced off the planet. Karen Parrott says, I felt a lot better. Thank you, Sandra. Yeah. Can you hear thoughts, Commander? I'm not always hearing thoughts, but I'm telepathic. I communicate with and have with communications with Kedar Monica of the Sagittarian Council for years. So telepathy is made 10 times. So I'm glad you're back, Ghost. I'm going to have you on another night for sure. I guarantee we'll have you on again, brother. I'm following you. I am following you here, so. And we're almost at 100,000. Thank you, everybody. It's almost 1 o'clock, so I'm a little bit under the weather. I'm still able to do and function the things I need to do. I have a little bit of a cold or an allergy here, so I'm going to go to sleep. And I want to thank everybody for watching the show. Please subscribe. Send me your gifts. We'll do some last-minute gifting here for the show for me. If you wish to send us a gift, please do. Yeah, it's just a slight cold. I was a little bit off today. I'm not at 100% of my galactic capacity, but I'm okay. Honey McReynolds, thank you. Oh, thank you, Honey McReynolds. And I'm going to, thank you, Kit Kat, for the hanging lights. We appreciate that. So right now, I'm just going to accept gifts. My energy level is a little bit off. I'm just a little bit tired. So not like last night where I was like amped up. I'm just a little bit tired a little bit here. So I appreciate the gifts. It takes a lot of work to do what I'm doing. And, the body needs to rest a little bit here. So we love you all. Rod, thank you. We love everybody out there. We hope you all have a good night. And we're just going to sleep, have some tea in the morning. Ghost, thank you so much for coming on here. We appreciate you, brother. And everybody have a beautiful morning. Venus, thank you for the good night. I appreciate it. I really do. Let's see here. How many? Did I reach my goal? Oh, I guess I did. Okay. I'm going to set up a new goal here. And before I go off, I'm going to see if we can reach the goal. So we're going to set up a new goal. And we're going to do the mustache. Let me see, where is it here? Where is the mustache? Oh, yeah, there it is. We're going to do the mustache. I'm going to try to do 8 hats with a mustache before I go off here. I'm just setting it up now, confirming it. Bam. I'm pinning the goal for 8 hats with the mustache. Let's see how many people do that. Cheryl, thank you. Liz, thank you. Jackie F, thank you. Thank you, Yaya Spirit. Thank you, Yaya Spirit. Oh, wow. Yeah, thank you, Yaya Spirit. I'm at 4. I'm at, yeah, thank you, Yaya Spirit. I'm at 80% etheric correct. Thank you. One more hat. I can't believe we did it. Thank you, people. Okay, I'm going to get out of here. It's been a great show on Encounters. You're all blessed, and we love you all. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow night at 11, and have a great, great week. What's left of it, all right? Thank you, Yaya Spirit. Wow. Thank you very much, everybody. Jackie F., thank you for the roses. Thank you. Good night. For all relatives, have a good night, everybody. All my guests, have a good night. And we'll be on tomorrow night with another incredible show. Friends with Furries, take care. And I know you're going to be going back up on the ship in the next few nights before you go back live again. I just get that feeling. So take care, everybody. We love you all, and we'll catch you later.